Arsharae, and I'm back with another video. This is Family or Fiancé episode 8. The Widower and the Wild Child. So basically, this is Summer and Keith. Keith is a little bit older than Summer. They said he was 50, but I don't recall them saying how old Summer was. So they meet with Tracy, and they're getting married in 8 days. Like, who goes on this show to get their family's blessings 8 days before they're due to get married? I don't know. So basically, Summer's bringing her mom, who is absolutely not on board. Tania is her best friend or her friend, and Tania says that Keith is too reserved. Brandy, her sister, and she asked if she's settling to be with Keith. And y'all bear with me because I couldn't take my notes on my phone, and I was writing real fast, so my handwriting is, I have good handwriting, but when I'm writing fast it sucks. So if I'm struggling a little bit, you know why. Keith is bringing his mom, his sister, and his brother-in-law Brian. His mom wonders if Summer is mature enough to support Keith, because they're concerned that Keith is a widower because his wife died. He basically spent 3 years watching his wife die after she had an aneurysm. They just want to they want to know if he's had enough healing since his first wife. And my condolences to Keith, because I wouldn't, like, that was suck. Like, I can sympathize with him because my grandmother, we watched my grandfather, like, go downhill. He had an accident and a bus fell on him, and ever since the bus, because he worked for a bus compound, ever since that bus fell on him, he was never the same. And we kind of just, like, watched him just go down and down and down. And when we thought he was going to get better, he just passed away. He was, I don't want to get into it, but so condolences to you, Keith, because I watched my grandmother go through it, so I can only imagine what you went through. Anyways, off topic. So they're talking to Tracy. Tracy gives them their task. Summer is going to cook with Keith's mom his favorite meal, which is fried chicken. Keith is going to play 20 questions with Summer's family. Summer's family arrives first. They question whether Summer's heart is in the relationship with Keith. Keith's family comes next. They talk about how Brian and Summer are basically polar opposites. How Summer was, like, raised with no rules, no boundaries. She had no curfew. She was free to come and go as she pleased. And Keith was kind of like, they had to be in before the street lights came on. His father was a minister. They were strict. And so it's kind of like Summer is the wild child, and Keith is like the preacher's kid, kind of like this. How they're saying how they're total polar opposites. They tell their families the purpose for them being there, and Summer's friend says that she doesn't know if Keith is Summer's type. Because Keith is so reserved and Summer is so unreserved. She's not as reserved as Keith is, so she's wondering if Keith is really Summer's type. And also, can Keith accept Summer's family? Keith's mom wants to make sure that he's fully over his first wife, which is understandable. Because they didn't just get a divorce. They didn't just grow apart. She died. And according to his mom, he was there every day. He made sure she had fresh flowers. He gave her the best care. So that's still love. And you got to make sure, are you ready to move on? But I feel like a person knows when they're ready to move on. So his mom should just trust his judgment. And they want to know if Summer's ready to put in the work into being a wife. And they tell their families about their tasks. Keith is with Summer's family. Summer is cooking with Keith's family. Those were their tasks. So Keith, at the first question is when did your wife pass? And Keith reveals that his wife passed on Christmas Day, and everybody instantly felt horrible. And it's like, dang, Christmas is ruined for him for the rest of his life. Like, I don't see how he'll be able to enjoy Christmas ever again. Like, that's gonna be hard. And he said that he thought that it was a cruel joke from God that his wife died on Christmas Day. Um, they also wanted to know if his family has been there with him through the grieving process, and he said yes. No, 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 no. I'm wrong. Summer asked his family were they there with him through his grieving process, and that's when Chris Mom revealed like all the things he did for his wife while she was still alive, and how he gave her the best care possible to make sure that she was comfortable. And the next question was, what do you think about her family? No, about our family. He said dysfunction. And no, he said if dysfunction had a name, it would be Lopes. And then he tried to kind of tried to backtrack it and tried to say it was a joke, but that did not go over well. And we often say things that we really mean, but we try to mask it as a joke. And I think he really meant that. But he tried to make it go over as a joke, and he thought everybody was gonna be like, haha, funny, but it didn't turn out that way. Uh, he said he felt that they are tight knit and that they need to let other people in. But I felt like their bonding time went south when he said that Summer's family was dysfunctional. Um, then he said that he felt the type of way that he paid for Italy and then he didn't even get a thank you. Summer's mom was trying to explain to him that she had a thank you card for him, but she has yet to give it to him. And I'm like, um, if somebody paid for me to go to Italy, my whole family to go to Italy, and I ain't have to come out of my pocket none, I would have been texting, thank you so much. I would have gave him that card before we even left to go to Italy. I would have made sure that that person knew that I was grateful and I had gratitude for them paying for my trip to go to Italy. Now, I understand that everybody handles things differently. I understand that. But at the same time, yes, I would be grateful. Yes, I would say thank you. But at the same time, don't lend out what you can't afford to lose. Don't lend out what you can't afford to lose. So basically, like, if you was expecting something in return, you shouldn't have even done it in the first place, Keith. Like, if you wanted a thank you, if that's what you were looking for, you shouldn't have done it in the first place, because everyone is not going to respond to things the way that you want them to. It sucks. Yes, they should have said thank you. Hell, I would have said thank you. I would have been text message, a blimp, something. Thank you so much for sending me to Italy on your dime, and I ain't had to pay for it. But you can't get that from everybody. So that's a lesson learned. And then they said they was gonna teach Summer how to cook. I'm like, Summer don't know how to cook. I know Summer ain't old. She's younger than Keith, but she's not a spring chicken either. So she should know how to cook something. Um, Summer asked how 20 questions went. Keith said that it was good, but her family was like, no, it was not good. Um, Her sister asks, does she really feel that their family her sister asks Keith, does he really feel that their family is dysfunctional? He says that they were brought up different, but does different mean, but they were like, okay, we were brought up different. We are polar opposites. Okay. But does different means dysfunction? Just because we weren't brought up the way you were brought up does not mean that we were raised in dysfunction. Does not mean that our family is dysfunctional. I, I I just think it was a bad choice of words, and it was a bad joke that he shouldn't have said it. It was a bad joke. It was a bad joke. But I do think that's how he feels, but maybe that right there just wasn't the time for him. to say that. Summer's mom expressed how she just wanted her kids to feel free because of how her mother treated her and how she was raised. She didn't want to give her kids rules. She didn't want to give her kids boundaries. The only thing she wanted to give her children were love. Was love. And I understand that, but sometimes kids need rules, but it doesn't seem like Summer or her sister turned out too bad. So apparently the mom did something right. She started crying and she walked away. Her mom says that she is angry and she is hurt that her family is being drugged like this, and that the whole family that he drugged the whole family into this situation, and he still didn't explain what his definition of dysfunction was. Why did he feel like they were a dysfunctional family? He didn't explain that. Her mom asked Keith, like, if you feel like our family is dysfunctional, why did he feel like their family is dysfunctional? And if he feels that way, how can he say that he loves Summer? And why should she give him her blessing? Which is all valid questions. If my family is so dysfunctional, why do you want to marry my daughter? How can you marry my daughter? Because my daughter was raised in dysfunction. So if my family is dysfunction, my daughter is dysfunction. So how can you marry her? How do you love her if it's so dysfunctional? He says that he loves her for who she is, but her being raised in dysfunction is who she is. So you're really not making your point here, Keith. That she's trying to be a better person. They're all trying to be a better person. He brings up Italy, the Italy trip again. He says that her mom saying that there's a car at the house is BS, and that he doesn't believe that there's a car, and that basically they're lying about the car. And then his sister, it was like, wait a minute, we knew y'all went to Italy, but y'all went to Italy on my brother's dime? Like, my brother was the one who sent y'all to Italy? And I'm just like, Keith. Keith. You spoke a little bit too soon. How you send your fiance's family to Italy, but don't send your wife's your own family to Italy? Come on, Keith. But they get into an altercation about Italy, and then a discussion about the wedding. And Keith said he's not paying for nobody to go to no one from Summer's family to go to the wedding, because he spent between $11,000 and $13,000 to send them to Italy. He didn't get a thank you, so he is not footing the bill for their destination wedding in Cabo. But I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, shouldn't that all already be taken care of? If the wedding is only 8 days away, that should already be done and taken care of and already paid for, because who's paying for something 8 days before a wedding? So that right there, that was like a red flag for me right there. But we'll see, because I'm like, how he saying he ain't gonna pay for it? This should already been paid for and planned and everything. So whatever. So Summer was like, I'm not getting married without my family. That is not the discussion that we had. And basically, in my mind, I'm like, is Keith footing everything? Is Keith rolling in dough or something? Did Keith make some good investments that he got some money over here? Like, because it seems like he's paying for everything, which is fine. That's not a problem. But it seems like he's footing everything, and it's starting to look like he's kind of taking care of Summer. Is that the reason why she wants Keith? Who knows? So I get what, like, you know, and then he basically was like, he tried to talk about the dysfunctional thing, but he just like, he damned if he do, if he damned if he don't. People wanted him to open up more. He was talking to Summer. People wanted him to open up more, and he's opening up. And now it's a problem that he's opening up. But that's what y'all wanted. Y'all asked the man to open up. He opened up. And now it's a problem that he's opening up. Could he have said what he said a little bit better? Yes, but at the same time, he's expressing himself. That's what y'all wanted. And now that y'all getting it, y'all don't like it. Be careful what you ask for. That's how I see that. Summer's friend and sister are talking to her mom. Her mom says that she is hurt and she just wants to go home. They tell her that she won't get the answers that she's looking for if she goes home, and she says, I'm not gonna get the answers anyway. So mama really don't care. Mom's over it. Mom wanna go home. Summer and Keith meet with Tracy. Tracy tells Summer that she looks stressed. um she said that people want to aggressively voice their opinions, and her mom felt like Keith was judging her or judging their family. He keeps saying that their upbringings were different. He agrees that her mom is owed an apology, and their task is to have fun and for Keith to turn up. And Keith was like, well, I might need the dictionary to figure out what the term turn up means. I'm like, really, Keith, really? So they meet with the families to talk and iron things out. Keith apologizes to. He was a little bit slow about this apology. I don't know if he was nervous or what, but he apologized to Summer's mom, and she accepted his apology. Um his family feels like he seeing him with Summer, his family feels like he's ready to love again. They go out drinking and they decide to bet on whatever person stays on the board the longest, the person who will win the money. And so they said that Keith was loosening up, and he definitely was. I saw a different side of Keith. Keith was having fun. Keith was enjoying himself. And Keith got his ass up on that bull, and he stayed on there for a good little minute, too. So it was nice to see a different side of Keith. And it was nice for him not to be so uptight and show a different side. Um, Everyone seems like they're getting along better. But they said that Summer needs to focus on not just being a beautiful bride, but also being a beautiful wife. Because even though she made dinner for Chris the first night, when it was time for breakfast, she wasn't cooking breakfast, and she wasn't trying to help clean either. She wasn't trying to do anything but have fun and wait for breakfast to be done. And that's not how life works at all. You gotta help. You gotta help. Just because it's people in the kitchen, like me personally, I'll be like, can I do anything? Can I set the table? Can I wash the dishes? How can I help you? But that's just me. But if you weren't raised that way, then final check-in. Tracy asked them, do they feel like they're different people? They said that they do. He got to know her family better. She said that she needs to learn to listen to Keith more. Just because he's patient with her, she shouldn't take advantage of him being patient. And the biggest thing that he said, the biggest thing that he learned is that she can actually cook. So I'm like, dang, Summer, you ain't been feeding this man? Like, how y'all been eating? Y'all been eating out? Y'all been going to restaurants? He been whining and dining you, but you ain't been feeding him? Like that's one of the qualities of being a wife. You gotta know how to cook. You gotta know how to clean. You gotta know how to take care of the kids. Like, what you been doing? So you must have some other good qualities that he was willing to overlook the cooking part. So they asked for their family blessings. Her family gives their blessing. They said that they've seen another side of Keith and they feel more comfortable with them being together. His family says that Brian says that he still has some concerns about Summer being a good wife, but that can all be ironed out, so he gives his blessing. His sister says that she still has some reservations, but they have her blessing, and his mom says that they have her blessing. So they got married in Cabo. That they got married that next week, because their wedding, when they first got there, their wedding was only 8 days away. They got married in Cabo. From the looks of it, her mom was there. I'm not sure who else that was paid for, that Keith paid for to go, but Keith said he wasn't paying for nobody, so I don't know how that turned out. But yeah, they got married. Happy couple. Got another couple got their blessing. If I'm not mistaken, we had 8 episodes. I missed 1 episode. I think it was only 2 couples that didn't get the blessing, maybe 3. So we're shooting for 5 out of 8 here that got the blessing, hopefully. I don't know, I missed the episode. I gotta go back and watch it. But yeah, that's it for this. That's it for my review of episode 8 of Family of Fiancé. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.